Let's go. What the hell is going on in Indiana, but it's looking really spooky. I just gotta keep it real, bro. We got people tweeting about Amber Cox potentially ruining the 2026 roster only if Sophie Cunningham don't return and Kelsey Mitchell leave. Now, there has been
Cryptic social media posts from professional athletes are nothing new. But when a franchise cornerstone starts posting messages like, when people show you who they are, believe them, during free agency negotiations, that's not just venting, that's a signal. And Kelsey Mitchell just sent another one yesterday, so we need to figure out what's actually happening in Indiana, because the pattern emerging here suggests this isn't about contract negotiations anymore. This is personal.
Do I think she gonna leave? I don't think she gonna leave. But is it possible she leave? Yes, it is very possible. Kelsey Mitchell pack up her Louis bags and get the hell out of Indy. That's just how it's looking. Now, with that being said, we have to talk about these cryptic messages she's been putting out, because she put out another one yesterday. Now, this was slipped through the crack, but we got the liquidators in the liquidating sweatshop that keep your boy John the Liquidator up on his toes. And that's how we...
Here's what makes this situation different from typical contract drama. The new CBA changes everything about WNBA salary structures. Maximum contracts are projected to hit somewhere between $1.2 and $1.3 million for the 2026 season. And Kelsey Mitchell, as an 8-year veteran who averaged 19.2 points per game last season, is absolutely going to command that maximum number from somebody. The question isn't whether she gets paid, the question is whether Indiana can afford to pay her that much while keeping the roster competitive. Think about the math for a second. If the salary cap sits around $2 million and you're paying Kelsey $1.3 million, you've got $700,000 left to fill out the rest of your roster. That's not just tight. That's nearly impossible if you're trying to retain other key pieces. Sophie Cunningham is a free agent. Lexi Hull is going to need a new deal soon. The Fever social media team posting highlight reels of all three of them together yesterday wasn't coincidence. That was damage control.
X right now. So I don't know if she put this one on Instagram. I'll check it and see, because I do know last time she did. See, last time Kelsey Mitchell said something, she made sure definitively it touched Instagram for whatever reason. You know, to me, like, she had to take time on her day to screenshot, and oh my God, she did it again. Oh damn. Oh damn, she put it on Instagram. She did it again. She did it again. What the hell? Bruh, these tweets she's saying is aimed at somebody important. She want the world to see this. She want us to report on this.
Now let's talk about the actual posts, because the content matters less than the pattern. December 22nd, Kelsey tweets, "When people show you who they are, believe them." That's a Maya Angelou quote, and it's pointed, not vague, not philosophical. Point. Then yesterday, December 28th, she follows up with, "I don't need nobody holding my hand unless they really want to hold it. No favors, no handouts." Here's what's significant about that second post. She didn't just tweet it, she screenshotted the tweet and posted it to her Instagram story. That's deliberate. That's making sure the message reaches everyone, not just her Twitter followers. When athletes want maximum visibility for a statement, they cross-post. And when they cross-post during contract negotiations, they're sending a message to management through public pressure.
Yeah, bruh. Kelsey Mitchell been looking real spooky. Now, this is Kelsey Mitchell Instagram account. Now, last time she posted, Caitlin Clark got on there, said, "Let's go Kelsey." Now, that was a week ago. 6 days ago, she put this on the internet. Now, Caitlin Clark quickly reacted to this. Now, I don't know if this aimed at Caitlin, but it could be. Now, this is her Instagram story. And she let it be known she wanted the world to see this on Instagram.
But there's a detail in that second post that everyone's missing. "I don't need nobody holding my hand unless they really want to hold it." That phrasing is specific. It's not about independence. It's about authenticity. It's about the difference between someone helping you because they're invested in you versus someone helping you because they need something from you. And that distinction matters when you're trying to understand what happened between Kelsey Mitchell and the Fever front office. Look at the timeline. Caitlin Clark gets drafted in April 2024. The entire franchise immediately pivots to building around her. Marketing changes, media coverage explodes, ticket sales go through the roof, and Kelsey Mitchell, who's been carrying this franchise since 2018, suddenly finds herself in a supporting role. Not on the court necessarily, but in every other way that matters. The billboards, the interviews, the promotional materials, everything becomes about Caitlin. Now, to be clear, that's not Caitlin's fault. She didn't tack for that, she's been nothing but respectful to her teammates publicly. But organizational decisions aren't made by rookies. They're made by executives who see dollar signs and chase them. And when you've been the face of a struggling franchise for 6 years, watching the entire operation reorganize around someone else in a matter of weeks, that changes your perspective on your value to the organization.
Look at this. They posted all this. Oh, actually, that was from today. So this is from today. Now, they ain't say nothing yesterday. Hold up. This is another video.
Fingers are a little crazy. Okay, go on.
Now, all of a sudden, the Indiana Fever social media team has been dropping. Hellos. Today, they went on something that's happening, bro. Look, they got Kelsey right there. Yeah, man.
December 29th, the Fever social media team goes into overdrive. Multiple posts featuring Kelsey, Sophie, and Lexi. Highlight reels, throwback clips, the whole remember the good times treatment. And that timing is not accidental. When a franchise starts posting nostalgia content during active contract negotiations, they're either trying to remind the player why they should stay, or they're preparing the fan base for a departure. Given the timing right after Kelsey's cryptic posts, this looks like panic. Here's why the Fever should be panicking. Losing Kelsey Mitchell doesn't just hurt their backcourt depth. It sends a message to every other veteran free agent in the league. It says, we'll build around young stars and let proven veterans walk. That's a reputation you don't want when you're trying to convince players that Indiana is a destination worth considering. The WNBA isn't like the NBA. Roster spots are limited. Team chemistry matters more. And veterans talk. There's another factor nobody's discussing. The Unrivaled League launches in January 2025. 30 of the WNBA's top players are getting paid 6 figures for an 8-week offseason tournament. Kelsey Mitchell is one of them, and the money players are making from Unrivaled, plus endorsement deals that have exploded thanks to increased WNBA visibility, means these athletes aren't as financially desperate as they used to be. They have leverage now, real leverage. The kind that lets you post cryptic messages on social media during contract negotiations without worrying about getting blackballed. That changes the entire dynamic of these negotiations. 5 years ago, Kelsey Mitchell takes whatever Indiana offers because the alternative is playing overseas or retiring. Today, she can afford to wait. She can afford to test free agency. She can afford to make the Fever sweat a little. And based on these social media posts, that's exactly what she's doing. But let's address the elephant in the room. Is Kelsey Mitchell actually going to leave Indiana? Probably not. The smart money says she re-signs, gets her maximum contract, and the Fever figure out the salary cap gymnastics to keep the core together. That's the most likely outcome. But is it possible she walks? Absolutely. And the fact that it's even a possibility worth discussing tells you how much the power dynamic has shifted in this league. Think about which teams could realistically pursue her. Las Vegas has cap space and needs backcourt scoring. Dallas is building something interesting and has the financial flexibility. Atlanta is trying to become relevant and would throw money at a proven scorer. Any of those destinations would give Kelsey a fresh start, a maximum contract, and a situation where she's not playing second fiddle in the organization's marketing plans. That's appealing. And here's what makes this particularly interesting for Indiana. They can't afford to lose her, but they also can't afford to overpay her at the expense of roster depth. It's a genuine dilemma. Pay Kelsey what she deserves and sacrifice depth, or let her walk and face backlash from fans who've watched her carry this franchise for years. There's no clean answer, and Kelsey Mitchell knows that, which is why she's posting cryptic messages instead of staying silent. She's reminding them what's at stake. The "I don't need nobody holding my hand" post is particularly pointed because it addresses the narrative that Kelsey needs Caitlyn to succeed. The stats don't support that narrative. Kelsey averaged 19.2 points per game last season on 46% shooting. She made the All-Star team. She's been productive with or without elite teammates her entire career. So when she posts about not needing handouts or favors, she's pushing back against the idea that her value is dependent on playing alongside a generational talent. She's saying, "I'm good on my own, and don't forget it." Now contrast that with the Fever's social media response. They're posting highlight reels of Kelsey, Sophie, and Lexi together. They're emphasizing the team concept. They're trying to remind everyone, including Kelsey, that this is a collective effort. That's smart PR, but it's also reactive. They're responding to her message with their own message. And the fact that they felt the need to respond at all tells you they're worried. Here's the thing about veteran free agents in the WNBA. They don't make decisions based purely on money. They make decisions based on respect, on feeling value, on believing the organization sees them as more than just a roster piece. And when you've been the face of a franchise for 6 years, watching the entire operation reorganize around a rookie, even a generational rookie, that tests your sense of value. It tests whether you believe the organization respects what you've built there. Kelsey Mitchell has every right to feel conflicted about her future in Indiana. She's given that franchise everything. She played through rebuilding years. She mentored younger players. She showed up every night and competed even when the team was terrible. And now that the Fever are finally relevant again, finally selling tickets, finally getting national attention, it's not because of her, it's because of the rookie. That's a tough pill to swallow, even if you understand the business reality of it. So when she posts, "When people show you who they are, believe them," what is she really saying? She's saying the organization showed her where she ranks in their priority. She's saying the way they've handled this transition revealed something about how they view her value. And she's saying she's paying attention. That's not bitterness, that's clarity. And clarity is dangerous for organizations trying to negotiate team-friendly deals. The Fever have a choice to make. They can treat Kelsey Mitchell like the franchise cornerstone she's been for 8 years, pay her accordingly, and figure out the roster construction challenges. Or they can prioritize financial flexibility, let her test free agency, and hope she doesn't find a better situation elsewhere. But they can't have it both ways. They can't ask her to take a discount for the good of the team, while building all their marketing around someone else. That's not how respect works. And this matters beyond just Kelsey Mitchell and the Indiana Fever. This is about how the WNBA treats veteran players in an era of explosive growth. As the league expands, as salaries increase, as endorsement opportunities multiply, veteran players are going to have more leverage than ever before. They're going to demand respect, not just contract. They're going to expect organizations to honor their contributions, not just their current production. And the teams that figure out how to balance that are going to have a massive competitive advantage in free agency. So what happens next? Kelsey Mitchell either re-signs with Indiana in the next few weeks, ending this drama with a maximum contract and a public statement about commitment to the franchise. Or she lets this play out into actual free agency, takes meetings with other teams, and makes the Fever sweat until the very end. Either way, she's already won. She's already shifted the negotiation in her favor, because now everyone knows she's willing to walk. And that changes everything. The question for Fever fans is simple. Do you believe your front office values Kelsey Mitchell enough to pay her what she's worth? Or do you think they're going to prioritize cap flexibility and hope they can replace her production with cheaper options? Because based on these cryptic posts, Kelsey's asking herself the same question, and she's not sure she likes the answer. What do you think happens here? Drop your prediction in the comments.